Welcome back. Let's get right into it. This one is called How to Emotionally Recover When Your Ex Moves On Too Fast. I will probably just call it When Your Ex Moves On Too Fast, something like that. And this is a long video, but we won't be watching the entire thing. I do have my own grasp and idea of what he's going to say, but I've never seen this video, so let's go.
Start by reading you a quick quote. And the quote states, "You're only overlooked, rejected, and ignored by people who aren't meant to be in your life. Let go in peace and look ahead in gratitude." Now, that's a wonderful quote. It's a very true quote. It's a quote I hope you all embrace. But I know, just as many as you do, that sometimes it's easier said than done. And a lot of individuals struggle with moving on from a breakup from someone. And that can be for various reasons. It can be due to the many attachments that were formed in that relationship. It can be due to the emotional investment that you gave, the hope.
Let's just talk about that real quick. He said the many attachments. I have done probably 1,500 calls, maybe 2,000. I don't know, something like that over the past 4 years. Calls and emails, helping people with this kind of stuff. And I have seen a lot of the same stuff. And one of the main things, and this is why I talk about the Sedona method, psycho-cybernetics, which is in my drawer right here. Okay. Pick this book up. I have my Sharpie like in there, but because I'm going through it and making notes like I tell you guys to do. I see attachments being formed and fantasies and ideas. When you guys get into a relationship, it's like there is no play anymore. There's no fun, right? And there's too much serious activity going on in your brain. And, oh, we're going to go here on this vacation. We're going to go do this on this, and we're going to go do this, and we're going to go do this. And then when these things don't come true or don't come to fruition, you've built up this attachment. And now that person's walking away from you, because look, that's why you have to remain present moment focused and focused on your own mission and purpose. And yes, you guys have your trips coming up and your plans, but don't get attached to them. If they happen, great. If they don't, then okay, whatever. So it's really important that you understand even from that level. Like he's going over it pretty quickly. He might jump into it, deeper and later in the video. And I want you guys to go watch the video on your own. We'll probably cover about half of it, maybe. But that's an important point that I want to let you guys know about. Attachments are so killer to your happiness. Okay. I don't know if it was Buddha. Somebody said something about attachments. Anyway, let's keep going.
Attachments that were formed in that relationship. It can be due to the emotional investment that you gave, the hopes and dreams you had for that relationship, various reasons.
Like I said, a lot of fantasy and a lot of investment.
But what adds or pours more salt in the wound is when you're trying to get past things. Maybe you even thought you did, but now you have to see your ex move on very quickly with someone else. And that can have a very negative impact on a lot of individuals. Now, it could be you, it could be someone you know, but the point is, it's a struggle, but it's something that I want to help you navigate through and ensure that you will come out the other end better than ever. All right. And so there's a few things you need to understand about this dynamic. Because let me tell you, I get people all the time. I've had so many clients in the past who got caught up in this whole, they're already with this person. And what does this mean? And, oh, they must not love me anymore. All these different things. But what you need to first understand, and you know what, before I give you the first, my apologies. I feel the need to mention this. There may be some of you who watch this video who are tempted to come into the comment section and say, why are you worried about your ex? Forget them.
You get that all the time.
You're better off. And don't get me wrong. I know your intentions are good, right? But let's not be dismissive of the struggle that many people face.
And that's right there. And that is exactly why I keep making these videos, because there's somebody out there. See, when people come at you with that type of mentality, I understand where they're coming from, because I eventually get people to get there, but it's a road. You can't just tell people to switch their mindsets like that. For most people, it doesn't work that way. Even though for that person that's saying that, they went through it and it clicked for them. I have to keep making these videos because there is someone out there who may be on the verge of, calling it quits in life. I don't want to say the words, but because YouTube, and I have had people come to me and they said, bro, you saved my life. Like I was ready to just, you know, take off my seatbelt and drive into a wall. You know what I mean? And like, obviously that makes me feel good, but it also makes me feel bad because we live in a world where there's so like, I'm very grateful that I can reach people. Right. But that's why I keep making these videos, because there's someone out there that will connect with me and how I portray and convey information, and how I know I'm doing a lot of reaction stuff lately. And I'm just trying to reinforce the same points. Like I just said, he sees the same shit I see, the same behaviors. That's why I'm doing these, to help you guys. And it's going well. It's the reactions are positive. Like my channel's growing like crazy right now. But guys, it's not about that. It's just about how you take what you're see. The only thing that you can control is your own actions. So when somebody comes in the comments and says that, again, like he said, your intentions are good, but there are people out there that don't know how to navigate this stuff and they don't know where to start. So I start out with no contact, right? You just start there and just understand that through that, you're going to start to grow as a person, especially when you read Psycho-Cybernetics and Sedona method. There's a method to all of the madness that I do, because me personally, I get over relationships very quickly. Okay. I let it hurt and I think about it. It consumes me and then it's gone. It's like a flu, right? Some people can operate with a flu and go to work. Not me, dude. I'm in blankets, shivering in the shower, trying to sweat it all out and get it out of me. I don't know if that works or not, but they say it does. And some people say it doesn't. I don't know. Works well for me. And guys, I know you guys want to probably continue the video, but that is why these videos will always be good for certain people. There are a lot of blue pilled simps out there who are just understanding this stuff for the first time, and it's never going to stop. This world is so big, and the way that everything is happening, and I'm reaching so many people in different countries, that they have to go through a certain process. So I'm not trying to tell you guys to stop doing that in the comments. I don't really care, but I just want people who think that way to understand that, and that mentality, because like for me, it clicked easy, just like for you. But for some people, I have some people in my coaching program that still don't get it, because they're still holding on. It's like when Neo first broke out of the Matrix, and he was Morpheus was explaining to him what was going on, and he puked in the ship, and he's like, "Let me out! I want out!" And then he gets up out of the thing, and then he pukes on the ground and whatever. The mind has trouble letting go of narratives, and because then your identity becomes part of that narrative, and then that's what being red pill is all about. And I like the idea of red pill. There's a toxic side of it that I don't like, but it is what it is. Let's go.
And the reality is, as I said in the beginning, sometimes it's easier said than done.
Right.
And we want to, at least I'm going to give the tools on how to make sure no one has to struggle with this. So
that's exactly my point.
The first thing to always remember is that things are not always what they seem. All right. So one of the big mistakes people make, I'll give you an example. There was a married couple. They were going through some issues. The wife decided she finally wanted to get a divorce, right? The man did resist the divorce, but she wasn't having it. She was done. They were 12 years in. She felt like she's been trying for so long and she doesn't have any more energy for this, right? So they get divorced. And I want to say 4 months after the divorce, this man was back in a relationship. And a few more months after that, he was remarried. Now, for the ex-wife, this was a punch to the gut. This was a very tough pill to swallow. And when she came to me expressing her frustration, and again, her frustration was rooted in the fact that, one, why is it that he already has someone and I don't? All right. And there was a level of bitterness with that. All right. There also was so all this time you were telling me you love me and you want to make it work, but you moved on that fast to someone else. So you're a liar. All right. And so basically devaluing all that she was told to believe by him for all those years. All right. And so essentially I said, listen, but also it did suck. And this may sound bad, but it sucked to see that he seemed happy. All right. And again, it kind of goes back, well, why does he get to be happy? And I'm over here struggling and sad. And so I had told her, I said, listen, don't be fooled. Things are not what they seem.
That is true, guys. I'm gonna rewind because he was still talking. That is so true. I've seen so just with my own personal experience now, not even with coaching, just in life, firsthand experience. I've seen so many people that seem happy, not the exact same thing he's talking about, but they seem happy, right? Marriages that seem happy, relationships that seem happy, people that seem happy, and then they commit suicide. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what's really going on. So again, being upset about something like that, oh, there was somebody new. You don't usually when somebody jumps into something and they're not over it, they're trying to cover up their pain. Women do this a lot. Women will just jump right into another relationship without dropping any of the baggage, right? So that's actually a releasing technique. I just dropped a paper towel because I was eating before this, before I started recording. But one of the releasing techniques is actually holding on to something. You know, I have a little like stand for my phone, and when you practice releasing, you hold it in your hand and you just think about what you're trying to release. It could be your pain, it could be frustrations from when you were a kid, childhood traumas, anything like that, and you just let it go. Right? That's one of the things you guys. I'm actually going to react to the guy I learned some of this stuff from, like where I started my learning down the road. But anyway, you don't know what's really going on. So if any of you guys are, you know, in a breakup right now, probably are, and the girl's already dating someone else, right? You have no clue what that girl's thinking or feeling inside. And they again, when people do that, sorry about the sirens. When people do that, they're normally trying to just cover up their pain and try to run from their pain. Okay?
So listen, don't be fooled. Things are not what they seem. A lot of people, especially when they leave one relationship, they jump into another one, and there's a lot of various reasons why they do that, and we're going to discuss those things. But they're not going to jump in a new relationship and then post the negative things. People don't post negative things about relationship typically anyway, unless they're lashing out.
Right. That's exactly true. So again, you assuming that they're happy is just a big mistake.
They're having a frustrating moment, things of that nature. Most people in today's world, and even before social media, they're only gonna let you see the good, all right? And sometimes your ex knows you're watching. They know you're lurking on the social media. So he or she wants you to feel some kind of way. He in this case, he's trying to stick it to you, all right? So you have to understand that.
Yeah, look at the dynamic, right? I'll rewind because she wants to divorce. In his story, she wants the divorce. He doesn't. So he starts dating a new girl and he's trying to say, well, basically, fuck you. Right. And that is what some of you guys are trying to do to the girl that just dumped you. Right. You're like, I'm going to go date another girl. I'm going on a date. And you're clearly still hurt. And there have been a small percentage, but students that have come to me for a breakup, they start dating a new girl. They're like, I wasn't over my ex, start dating this new girl. Now I really like this girl. But this is what she thinks of me now, because all that he's been bringing to the table is his fucking his pain. So guys, don't get into new relationships until you've begun your healing, till you've gone through the healing process. Okay? Letting go of some of the frustrations and pain. Just get clear. See, emotions cloud your mind a lot, which is why you guys come to people like us, because you want clarity, because we're not in the situation emotionally. You are. So when you're in that situation, you can't see shit clearly. It's like you're underwater, right? And you're trying to move, but you can't see, you can't move, you can't think, you can't hear, nothing. It sucks. And all you can think about is her or him. So once that emotional dial comes down, because right now it's cranked up to max, right? Once it comes down, that's when you can think clearly again. So don't go into a new relationship until you've done some healing.
He in this case, he's trying to stick it to you, all right? So you have to understand that if you start getting caught up in what you're seeing, you are falling into the trap. Now, are there some situations where the ex moves on and it's a genuine, he or she's in a better place?
Yep.
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. But I'm gonna tell you, in most cases, that's not what it is. Not when it happens that quickly. And
I agree. I agree with that. I've seen that. I agree with that.
That's the whole thing. We're talking about an ex moving on very fast. When it happens very fast, there's usually some other issues going on. So to get back to you, when you're trying to navigate this, one, stop looking. All right? You don't need to concern yourself with what your ex is doing.
Easier said than done. So delete the apps from your phone. Delete if you have to. Just for the first like, you know, month. I know it's hard, right? Lock up your phone. Get up. There's a box with a timer. I have it behind me. You can literally get it. I'll try to find the link for you. I got it on Amazon, but put your phone in a box. Like if you guys can't control yourself, right? Because it doesn't help you.
Like that. Especially when you are not at a place where you can handle such images. Now, I do think it is possible to get to a level of healing and a level of emotional stability where if you went online, because sometimes you're not even looking, it might pop up through different ways. But let's be real, some of y'all are looking. Anyways, if you go online, you come across this image, there is ways to get to a place where it doesn't faze you anymore. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. But you have to be real with yourself about where you are right now. You can't handle it, so stop looking. Unfollow. Don't go on the social media. And listen, when you struggle in these areas, get yourself an accountability partner. Get yourself someone who's going to make sure and check.
See, and that's why I do these videos, because that I didn't even think about that. An accountability partner. That works. That works for working out, right?
Struggle in these areas, get yourself an accountability partner. Get yourself someone who's going to make sure and check up on you that you aren't digging for more information, because it's none of your concern. All right. You should be focused on you and where you're headed in life and what you need to be doing, not what your ex is doing. But then number two, again, understand only the good will be presented. You have to remind yourself, you don't know the full story. You don't know what's going on. You can't attempt to define everything that happened in your relationship with this person previously by the pictures you're now seeing with them in this new relationship. That's really unreasonable and unfair to do. All right. And again, you're missing too many details to come to any conclusions. You don't know what's going on. So when you remind yourself that you don't have the full story, it can help pull you back from the ledge, because many of y'all get really close and then you jump completely off of it. All right. So you got to gather yourself, catch yourself and say, no, you know what? It's just a picture. Or it's just a rumor, because sometimes not pictures, it might be word gets back to you from different people about, well, I saw them and they looked happy. They looked happy.
And again, this comes back to being mission focused. So when you're focused on them, you're not focused on you. So you guys have to constantly remind yourself, get yourself a sticky note, and in big letters, just write mission. Okay. And put it in like 5 different places. And it's going to remind you, oh, got to get on my mission. So if that's a walk, losing some weight, if that's, like focusing on a new blog or something like that, cool, go do that. Right.
And again, even if they are happy, that's on them. That's on them. But you got to focus on you. All right. So now, building on the fact that things are not always what they seem, the second thing that I need you to consider is that many times they may be using that person as a distraction or a coping mechanism. So I'm sure many of you have heard the term rebound relationship.
Right.
And when people move on very fast after breaking up with someone, it typically is a rebound relationship, unless there was something brewing between this person and the other person. Like, so for example, if they were cheating, I didn't want to say cheating, but I mean, this is what happens in people's relationships. If that person was cheating, that man was cheating on you this whole time with this person, then you guys break up and now they're in a relationship with the person they were cheating you on. That's a little bit different, because there was something that was going on there the entire time. All right. It still could be a situation where he's using it as a coping mechanism or a distraction, but it is also possible that something was built on their end over time. But outside of things like that, when it's this new person who just pops up out of nowhere and boom, your ex is now back in a relationship, it's usually to cope. And so what I see happen to so many individuals is that they see this person move on, they say, oh, they must not have loved me. And not that I'm trying to make an argument for that they did love you, but the reality is that sometimes, because how much they love you, because how much it hurt to lose you, they ran into the arms of someone else. Because to them, that was the best way. That was the only way they understood how to deal with this. Being by themselves hurt too much. All right. Now, again, I'm not saying this to you for you to now have sympathy and be like, oh, okay, now I love them too because they're just doing this because they love me. No, but I am saying that you cannot define their feelings for you or what you guys had by the fact that they've now jumped into this new relationship. Again, it doesn't tell you the full story. Now, unfortunately, and I feel the need to say this because sometimes maybe you watching this, maybe you're the ex that moved on too fast. Maybe you're the person in that rebound relationship, or maybe you're the person who's considering doing the same thing because you're trying to find a way to cope. I will never co-sign rebound relationships simply because it's an unhealthy dynamic, which now pulls in a third party, whoever this new person is, into an unresolved situation that now can get them hurt as well.
And many of you guys that come to me dated a girl, started going out with a girl who was coming out of a relationship. So you are the rebound. And then you're coming to me and guys like him, guys like us, Jesus Christ. And you're like, how do I get her to like me more? How do I get her to want to be with me more or longer or whatever? And you know, the connection between the ex and her, right, is 4 years long, and your connection with her is only 4 months long or whatever it is, right? And she's pulling away. She's emotionally raw. She's all over the place. She's hot and cold. She doesn't know if she wants to be with you. Then the next moment, she's like, yeah, I really want to be with you. There's all that's why you just never date people who are unavailable in terms of their emotional place, right? You can easily tell when somebody's really, really available and into you because they're hot, like not hot. I want to say they're very, very warm all the time, right? There's some days where they're going to be a little less, in your face, but people who are fucked up or have bad emotional centers are going to be hot and cold. They're going to be, it's like a roller coaster. Okay. So they're really, really cold. They're not texting you at all. They just seem distant. And then they're really hot and they're, with you and everything's great. And it's because something's going on here and you can't force it to go faster. And that's why you come to us, because you're like, how do I fix this? And you can't. Okay. You have to just be you have to be emotionally centered. You have to be calm and cool. You have to be the mountain, the rock, and all that, and understand that she's going to come to you when she feels like coming to you. Now, do you feel like being an option? Right? I don't like my students being options. I get mad at them sometimes. I don't want to get mad at them, but I do when they go into an option role versus a priority role and they choose to do it knowing where it's going to lead, right? I coach them all the time, and they sometimes, guys, they just don't listen because they still have that framework that needs to be updated. And it's just because they don't want to be alone too. They don't want to be alone. They want some attention. I'm like, man, you don't need it. Just, again, mission. See, all this comes back to being mission focused and working on your purpose every fucking day. Work on a motorcycle, work on cars, work on whatever, have hobbies, have shit to do, and then go out and meet women and start a rotation when you're healed. Okay. Because then that's when you can, and make friends with people, right? People that are in those circles, and have fun with your life. I promise you, there are good women out there who will appreciate that kind of shit.
As well as hurting you, as well as hurting your ex. Because listen, here's the thing. When people break up, some people break up because they never needed to be together to begin with. All right. And thank God there was a breakup. Sometimes these situations are blessings in disguise. They may not feel like that, but they are. There are other situations where breakups occur because of misunderstandings, mistakes that were made, bad decisions. And the breakup doesn't automatically mean you two aren't meant to work it out. And with that said, when we rush to jump into the arms of someone else before truly resolving what happened here and coming to a true conclusion of, we are done here, this isn't supposed to go forward anymore, not simply because I am hurt in the moment, but because we now recognize we are not best for each other. Until that happens, adding someone else to the dynamic would be a bad move.
Agreed. And that's where I'm going to stop it right there, guys. It's at the 12-minute mark. If you guys want to continue watching this on your own, I just don't want this video to be an hour and a half long, because it's already at 24 minutes. But again, this comes back to being mission and purpose focused. He's going into very intricate things that can happen. Like sometimes bad decisions were made, financial decisions were made, and just caused frustration and blah, blah, blah. And that's why you can't just take it, oh, she's fucking somebody else, bro, move on. You know what I mean? You can't just always think that. But that's why coaching calls exists. And that's why I'm doing these videos, because a lot of the time it is better for you to move on. A lot of the time. But sometimes, it is a good idea for you to remove yourself and just come back and focus on you Because at the end of the day, it's always about you, your mission, and your purpose, and what you're trying to do. And you're human beings. This is in psycho-cybernetics, okay? Human beings. I'm going to do an original video soon, probably tomorrow, about this. But human beings are goal oriented. Okay, women too. Their goals are just different than ours. But men, we're supposed to be goal oriented, not zombies floating through life, watching Netflix and going to work for some asshole that doesn't care about you. Goal oriented people. And that's why men are fucking up and failing in relationships, on top of the bullshit that's being fed to women about what they should expect from men. Okay. Melanie King, I think, said it like this. I can't remember how it was said exactly, but women are acting like we're living in the year 2050, and they want men to act like they're in the year 1950, something like that. And that's just not how and that's not how it is anymore. So it was something like that. I hope I didn't fuck it up and butcher it. But anyway, focus. Okay. Like I know I say this all the fucking time, guys. You're probably sick of it. People who really watch my videos a lot, but focus, right? Bring, more, start building. Some people don't like this, but start building your legacy. Start doing something that really, really invigorates you. Start losing weight or whatever. And you can start, doing videos like this. You can start, side hustles and blogs. You can just start cultivating great friendships, hanging out with people who are good. But again, you have to come back to your emotional center and heal and be cool on your own. Because look, when you do that, you're unstoppable. You're an unstoppable force. When you can get up and go and do anything, no matter how bad you feel, you're a beast. You're unstoppable. Okay. I know it might sound corny, but it's true. Because yesterday I did not feel like making videos. I ended up making like 8. Okay. And I'm glad I did. I look back at my day yesterday and I'm like, I could have spent it in bed, but now I'm 8 videos ahead. Okay. And that's important for men, that goal oriented, like masculine energy. So anyway, you guys can go, I'll link this video so you guys can watch the rest of it. There's a lot of good points to be made, but I really like this guy. I've only seen like 1 or 2 videos, some of the more viral ones. Steven Speaks or Stefan Speaks. I'm not sure how he wants that pronounced, but everything's here. Like online dating. Why did my ex move on? Relationship advice. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like he's just doing the tags, I think, but or the SEO. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want coaching and all that, it is. Let's see. Did I forget to do it here? I think I did forget to do it. So take a screenshot of that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Done.